This here's what you want to look for. When you have your feeler gauge in on your your outfeed table, look and sight down the edge of the blade, and you want it to touch that straight edge or almost touch it. That's what your little block of wood's for. Once you put your little block of wood in there and adjust it so that that's up against your infeed table, you can look and see how much gap you have. In this case we want it to touch, so we need to raise it up. So grab your Allen wrench and come up with it. And we're almost there, so I don't have to move it very much. And it's touching my board at the highest point, so let me get this out of the way. So that's what you want to look for. So what we're going to do is, now that we've adjusted the far side, we're going to move it towards us, the straight edge that is. So everything's in alignment with the beds. Should be just right. In this case, it is. So if you, I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but sorry, I'll get there. You can see that it's touching, or just barely, almost there. So that's what you want to see. Now remember to move your feeler gauge to the other side so that you can still have the same contrast with the previous side. So once you do that, go ahead and tighten down your wedge that holds your blade in. Okay, if you can see here, I've made a red mark right here on the table. If you've done everything correctly to your cutter heads, this is what they should do. If you lower your outfeed table down from the position that you had it before and turn your cutter head, and if it slides up that much just by the first cutter head grabbing, okay, that was the first one. Now I'm going to move it back to the red line and then turn it again. This is the second cutter. Okay, same point, that's a good sign. And then bring it back to the red mark again. And third cutter head. Oh, let me redo that one. I kind of did that one a little fast. Okay, turn again. And if you do it all the same speed, the same rotation, all three cutter heads should push the board right back where it was. Okay, now that was the inside. Now we need to move the board to the outside, so I'm going to move the camera. Okay, now we need to set up a new mark. So I'm going to pull the cutter head back this time. Okay, right here is our mark. Take a really sharp pencil, mark it. Okay, first cutter head. Okay, since that was the first one we did, that should be right. Okay, back to the line. Second cutter head. Oh, see, it went a little bit past it, so that we know that one's a little high, so you want to mark it. Okay, now we're going to test the third one. Okay, and same thing again. Oh, that was the second one again. Sorry, my head rolled back on me and I wasn't looking at it. Okay, all right, here's the third one. Okay, and it just went a little bit past, if you can see it there. And you know, that's so minute that I don't think that's gonna really bother it, but I'll mark it anyways. Okay, now then, this table edge is not very square, but it'll give you an idea how far off that you are. If you take a tape measure, or any kind of measuring device, you measure the outside of the table to your mark. That right there is right at, ooh goodness, 3/16 of an inch. That's about right. This one right here is about at 1/4 of an inch on this side. So there's a difference of 1/16 of an inch. So, and we had 2 blades on the far side on this side that were high. So you can correct for those and get everything to be nice and true. So, all right, now that we got everything set and I put the fence back on, but everything in the cutter head should be pretty darn true now. Now, I just want to take a moment to say that when you set up your fence, you're going to need a good quality square. You don't have to have one of these machine squares. Just a basic furniture square like this one that's adjustable will do you fine. But since I have a good machine square, that's what I'm going to use. So, pretty basic to set up. To make sure the base is square to the fence, just take your square and just butt it up against the edge, and you can clearly see right there that I've got a little bit of gap right there at the bottom. So to fix that, you just have to move the fence back and forth and it'll go right into alignment. And you want to check it all the way down the length. Now some of it is not going to come out of there because your fence might be a little bit warped. Check this again. And you're just going to have to live with some areas being like they are. We definitely can live with that. There we go. And kind of snug it up a little bit. And believe it or not, if you need to take a fine adjustment on something, you can use a hammer. See, I've got a little bit of gap down here at the bottom, so if you get you a dead blow and hit the bottom corner, it should bring it around. A little too much. Okay. Down, tighten this down, and the fence setup on this joiner I'm not impressed with, but it works. So once again, check it all the way down the length, and if you see something that's incorrect, then correct it. And once you get it the way you like it, just a little bit. I believe this fence is warped a little bit. It shouldn't be this hard to get into place. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. We're just going to have to live with not 100% square, which is fine. Let's tighten everything down good and snug. Alright, and that should be ready for a test. Okay, we're getting ready to joint this piece. If there's anybody out there that doesn't know about jointing, the first thing that you want to do is pick a face that is very stable so it doesn't rock very much when it's on the bed. It's like this and it rocks. Well, this one here is pretty good. So either side will do on this one, but you do want to look for a bow, and you want the bow to be down. So I'm going to join it from this face. So what you do is you clean up one face and run it through as many passes as you need to get it flat. Then take your fresh face and put it up against the edge of your fence of your joiner, and then clean up one edge. After that, the joiner, you can't use it anymore to make this board square. You'll have to go to the planer and the table saw to finish all of that. But anyways, let's get started on this. you can see, I call that a major success. So there you go. That's how you take something that didn't look so good when we started, and we've turned it into a well-working machine. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.